Thank you, Colaris. It is indeed Balnam United a must-win game here for the final game of weekly survival at PGC 21, presented by Alienware and Toomey. Of course, Chunks, a lot of the focus will be on Balnam United, must win, otherwise they're going home. But also, there's so many other teams that would obviously still really need this win to make that weekly finals, to get into that top 12 and avoid the grand survival.
Yeah, I mean, just taking a look at the teams that we actually have in the lobby still, it's really surprising to see so many big names still left in it. You maybe would have expected a lot of these squads to have already qualified, but it's just not the case, especially down the bottom end of the leaderboard right now. It is a little surprising. Teams like TSM, FTS, SONIQS, GNL, GEN.G, MCG, and Petrichor Road, all at the bottom end of things right now. They need to pick it up and quick. There is a lot of pressure on, and this is not the way that Game Home and BN United wanted to be kicking things off.
What do you do if you're in Balnam's position, though, right? You must win this game. And we know back in the APAC region, they were a team that was quite proficient at finding chicken dinners. Completely different lobby, though, to PGC. And I think that's been the biggest struggle for them, is you go from an environment where it was not that difficult for them to find wins to an environment where it becomes very difficult to find wins. And that circle...
GEN.G concede a knock to SONIQS. It's Pio getting knocked by Tiggleton. But, I mean, with the way that GEN.G are playing, they're very split. It's a risky one, but they should be able to get in and get the revive, which is why we see the Sora moving in. That depends, though, on whether SONIQS are even going to let them get this revive, because they are immediately moving in. They realize that these buildings provide hard cover, which is lacking inside this zone. If they can steal it away from GEN.G, you know they will try.
Oh, this is go time for SONIQS. And yeah, if they can win this position, absolutely massive for SONIQS. And INONIX, though, actually gets the opening knock onto Mime, gets a second one, gets a third one! Shuts down the SONIQS dream just like that in one quick swoop. He gets all four of them! SONIQS, that moment sums up all of PGC in a nutshell.
They just got absolutely wiped, GEN.G. That was amazing to see INONIX clutching out. Wow. Wow, oh, we got a replay of it. Let's see. INONIX takes down one out of the vehicle. Mime tries to go for the seat swap. This is just heartbreaking for SONIQS right now.
Wow.
I am just lost. I guess maybe the moment of silence was deserved there.
I think in some ways it is, Chunks, the moment of silence for SONIQS and for what's been. Gustav barely makes it across the road. That from Edie. Time to move back, though, to the rest of the lobby, the rest of the fights happening. FaZe Clan, we remember back, they had that roadblock on the north side of Stalba to try and stop Buriram, the three-man Buriram. Well, they've actually done a pretty decent job, Buriram, to make this a close quarter fight. Still, it goes back and forth. 1 for 1. Gustav is down, so is Edie. And remembering, though, that FaZe had the numbers 4 versus 3, so now it's a 3 versus 2.
Now, Buriram, though, with only 2 players left up, needs to try and make something happen. It looks like the headshot was landed by Fex, but equally returned by Kanaxi. Nicely done to eliminate that player, but he's down to low HP. Fuzzface tries to go for the flank, but they've lost 8C. He's going to be flushed out as well. Kanaxi inside going for that heal. Needs to be careful not to peek, but he's actually hopped out the back as well. Really nicely done. KPI going for a crash of their own right now as DraftKings takes down Algin Bot. You can see them try to get more aggressive. Capitan throws out the frag grenade, but Mad Dog in the corner goes for the heal. Maybe going to regret it. Capitan peeks out, lands the spray, and finishes off the job. That's Archangel Predator out in 14th position. Rustin Mar also falls, but it looks like it's FaZe that are maybe going to be next to fall from the lobby.
Yeah. And even if they don't momentarily, it's not like they're in a good position to really move forward and win. Speaking of moving forward and win, though, Balnam United, they see an opportunity. They go for the warehouse. If they win this fight without losing any players against the duo of KPI, it could actually set them up for a win, but they lose the first exchange to DraftKings. Doesn't go for the flush on the Dr. Logi. That could maybe backfire. Zest gets the knock on the Capitan. They need to be able to try and get them back up. DraftKings, though, is going big at the moment for KPI. Only red health remaining. Zest just runs in. They've already lost Young B and Dr. Logi. They get the warehouse, but Chunks at what cost? Down to just 2 players.
It's so unfortunate here. Fex still the solo left up from FaZe, tries to survive. And you know what? BN United, they've taken casualties, but at least they've got the zone. I say that, but SSG, it seems like they're aware of this, and they might try and turn in. Keenan turning towards the compound as the shot slam through. His tire pops. Roth going to be hopping out the side, goes to the shots, but he does get third party from behind. It's Aches left from afar. Petrichor Road doing what they can to get involved. That frag grenade lands close to Simon T, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. Roth is down. SSG taking casualties, but still committing to the fight. Oldless looking like he wants to edge his way through, but it's just not happening. The smoke is still there. Zest and his teammate just throwing down everything they can. Molotovs left, right, and center. Ross up, but immediately back down. The frag grenade from Simon T. And look at all those bodies, all those KPI bodies that they are able to loot off of. Oldless picks up his teammate, but he nearly falls himself.
Oh, it's a smoke. Before the little indicator showed up, I thought for a second, but no, it doesn't matter anyway. Aches left finds an angle, gets it off onto Oldless, confirms Roth, and just like that, SSG just down to Keenan. Not long for this world. That could still be good news for Balnam United since they've been able to at least keep their two players up in Simon T and Zest. As you mentioned, all of that utility from KPI as well that they've been able to expend. Even level 3 helmet, level 3 vest there. They've literally just swapped spots. 2 out, 2 in. Oh, nice little spot from Oldless, though. Finds a little position to maybe get a high ground, look over the smoke, doesn't get anything from it. Balnam United now able to heal up, of course, and there's like 10 smokes on one player alone. Look who is on the move and heading straight to that location. So immediately you get the revive, but here comes Gen.G, probably with a fresh set of utility, nades, smokes, everything to throw into this warehouse. Simon needs to get that heal off as soon as possible if he is to survive for much longer.
No.
And then from the other side, you got TSM. Balnam United are about to be sent packing out of PGC 21. And then we'll have TSM versus Gen.G.
It's all down to Simon T as the final player left up. As Gen.G, they heard TSM move up. They heard the nades.
Oh, never mind.
Backing off of this one. 17 Gaming do everything they can to try and remain in control of this shack. But now the Ents start to get involved. It's all but over. Show is still in the center as it is just so messy right now. Lil Ghost opens up. Tiksu falls as Pero also starting to get involved. Why are so many teams fighting for these shacks, Xenox?
Yeah, it's the go time, right? The phase 7 circle now as well. Aches left just maybe almost catching one there, pushing into the smoke. Suju comes back the other way, but what a turnaround. 180 flick from Aches left. Now he gets the flush, can go for the revive of Mamu. Gen.G still on the outside, but Simon T, the solo for Balnam United. There is absolutely no reason why he would want to shoot unless he knows it's a squad wipe or if he gets spotted the other way. INONIX on one side of the warehouse. Zura is down. Esther on the other side. He goes for the flush. He tries to go for this trade. INONIX, though, catches Simon. That is Balnam United eliminated from the entirety of the tournament here for PGC 21.
This is a PO play if I've ever seen it. The question is, will it work out? Well, Pero are down below, and he finds an opening knock onto them. Mamu is out of it and immediately flushed to go alongside it. Tiksu trying his hardest to thread the needle. One more bullet. And, oh, no, it was Mings in the end. Oh, I got so excited.
Oh. I did as well for a split second, but you saw the blue 21 put 2 and 2 together. 4 teams remain. TSM, Ants, Gen.G, and Pero. PO with the high ground advantage. Luke 12 just catches a glimpse of INONIX. Esther's there as well. Oh, he gave himself a bit of a position for Luke 12 to spray him down, but he was so focused on INONIX behind the vehicle. Esther needs to watch the warehouse to make sure that they can't walk out of here. Still 4 players up for TSM, 3 up for Gen.G. Ents with 4 watching as they come out of the warehouse. Ents should be able to pounce. Don't forget about Aches left, though, as the solo for Petrichor Road.
So now Ents can focus all of their attention up to the top side. That means that TSM FTX are pinned down in the warehouse, and on the push out, the nades are going to be coming through. That's 2 players already down. Purdy, Alo, both eliminated as Luke 12 needs to get himself that first aid kit to get out of here, but he's conceding even more damage. Gen.G now decide to move back. Esther running down the hill as they realize, look, Ents are doing our job for us. We can dip, we can get into a position, and you know what? Why not get involved onto Ents as well? Because they're wide open from this angle.
Yeah, really smart play from Gen.G. Disengage away from the warehouse. Especially if Aches left gets taken down, and he's getting forced away from Ents actually closer to Gen.G, right into their position. They're going to be able to deal with him at absolutely easy as that for Gen.G. So now we're down to our 3 teams left, one of which, so of course, still stuck in the warehouse. If they do make it out, ENCE will be waiting for them. Nice smokes, of course, though, for Luke 12 and Penta. They can just buy some extra time, but really, they're buying time for Gen.G because ENCE is still so focused on the warehouse. All of their nades, everything towards the warehouse to deal with TSM, but Gen.G can flank him from behind and then deal with ENCE. This is it. It's down to a 3 versus 3 for our final game of the weekly survival. ENCE or Gen.G will go through to the weekly final.
It's going to be a tough one here as Gen.G now try to make the most out of that opening knock they got. They flushed it out as well. The damage actually lands over onto Rustamar. He's going to be forced to heal up as now Diggory tries to find the trade. We should point out as well, he's got himself an AWM, but PO is sneaking up over the top. Gen.G obviously burnt through all of that lethal util earlier, but just look at this zone control that Gen.G have been able to manage. They've actually saved some of those frags, actually. My mistake, maybe picking them up off the body. Now INONIX has 2 frag grenades to work with. They are going to land, not quite close enough, but those shots certainly do. PO eliminates Rustamar. That's ENCE now lose the player as INONIX spots out Tixu. Tries to follow it up with the shots, but they're just not landed. Frags left, right, and center. Molotov surely to follow, but they're just a little bit short. ENCE, they know where Diggory is. They don't have any idea of where Gen.G are. The pinch has worked out perfectly. Gen.G in zone control. PO does get caught with some damage, so it will slow Gen.G down. He needs to back off, get himself the heal, as ENCE just play it as slowly as possible. They're at a man disadvantage, and they do not have the zone in their favor. ENCE burnt through so much utility, but they've saved the final bits for this last fight.
Yeah, Esther, PO well positioned here up close. Then you've got INONIX as well watching the backside of this smoke. So for ENCE, it's very tricky here. If you can get maybe a knock onto INONIX, then you've got yourself a 2v2 up close. Obviously now starting to run out of that utility. That smoke as well starting to dissipate. Ooh. They've got basically nothing left here. And then the blue now pushing them. Gen.G all well positioned to deal with this. Take a bit of damage, fall back to the tree. That's fine. You've got INONIX watching it. Same with Esther. PO can fall back. He can heal. There's the knock from Esther. Gen.G. Diggory at least gets one back. Now he's in a 1 versus 2 with PO and INONIX, the 2 superstar names here at PGC 21. Diggory takes his time, he heals up, but I don't think he's got the time to go for a revive. There is a gap in the smoke, and of course INONIX will capture him. 14 kill win for Gen.G. They will head to the weekly finals.
I respect my mind, no doubt from last shout. I pray my dick get big as the Apple Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud